fuck's sake, I had a really good intro. Right, you ready for this? Final Fantasy 15, another hot take. No, what, fuck it is the intro. My video game FLAPPATRON Episode 3 is available right now on Steam. Wow, that transition was great. I'm trying to record these all in one take, so I swapped between, but now I'm gonna turn the music on and just... That was a failed experiment. Oh well. Right, Final Fantasy 15. I almost said 10 then. So, recently I tried to play it. Well, I've had Final Fantasy on the brain ever since I played the remake. I've been playing pretty much all the Final Fantasy 7 games, like Dirge of Cerberus and all this shit and the original, which I'll talk about in future videos, but let's focus on FF15 for now. So, when I beat the remake, I figured, you know what, I might go back and play 15. I've only played 15 once. They said that they've added loads of cutscenes and they've changed it as a Royal Edition. Also, it was on Game Pass, the Royal Edition was. So I just figured, hey, why not? Let's give it another go. So, started playing it for about maybe an hour. I just couldn't do it anymore. It's a shame because I actually really like I love the main cast. I remember really liking the main cast when I played it the first time through. And I always remember having a problem with the pacing and all this stuff when I played it the very first time. And I'll tell you the exact moment where I just thought, you know what, I can't be fucked, was when the dog showed up. Out of nowhere, the dog showed up, and if you know my work and what I've done before, my Smash Bits parody, I definitely highlight this part of the game. Dog shows up with a random book. I mean, what the fuck is that about? Has a flashback to him and Luna Freya or whatever. But the characters aren't really established, and the plot is so paper thin at the beginning, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course, because there's a film, and there's an anime, so this is the biggest problem with Final Fantasy 15, as opposed to 7. The reason why I'm bringing up 7 is because they're very similar in terms of all the spin-offs and all the shit that goes to the story. So let me start with 7 first. So 7, 7 works, apart from the remake, obviously, but if you play 7 all the way through, the original that is, all the way through, that's it. You haven't got to play anything else, really, to understand the gist of the story. Yeah, things are explained a little bit more, but, you know, everything is in the game. Even if a lot of it is optional, like the Lucrezia stuff and going back and seeing the flashback with Zack, all that stuff is optional. And, you know, that's probably why the game's so well regarded as well, because there's so many, like, hidden secrets and weird shit like that going on. For example, I even know you could get Yuffie and Vincent until... like, I pretty much was about to fight Sephiroth in my first playthrough ever. Anyway, but, you know, the prequel with Zack, which I'm playing at the moment, Crisis Core, don't have to play it. It's really good, though, and it adds to the story. I love it. Dirge of Cerberus, don't have to play it. Advent Children, you don't have to play it to understand Final Fantasy 7. Whereas Final Fantasy 15, you have to watch the fucking film, which, by the way, is really bad. The film's really bad. And I kind of forgot about that. And I'm just like, oh yeah, of course. Basically, you dick around as Noctis for 3 hours on this first act of the game, and then the town's been destroyed, and it's like, okay. But I remembered on the film that so much crazy shit goes down with the king, and there's this guy, there's Nero or some shit, I don't remember his name. Luna Freya's in that film. You got that guy, the really bad voice cast who's like, wah, I don't remember his voice, his character's name. Gladius or something, no, I don't even know his name. But the point is, I don't want to have to watch the fucking film to understand what's happening in this game. Why have I got to do that? Not to mention, the side characters like Ignis and Gladius and all that, yeah, they're great, and I love them. They're great characters, but to understand their backstory, again, you have to watch the anime, which has all their backstories in the anime, which is just stupid, and I just thought, you know what? This game is so light on the character development and plot. I don't care. Especially since I just played a game which had so much character development and plot. Final Fantasy 7 has, you know, Barrett's story is all there. Vincent's is optional, but like you get his in little tidbits and stuff. Yuffie is optional as well, but I mean they are optional characters anyway. Cait Sith, you know, has a backstory and this whole reason he's there. You know, Tifa as well, Aerith. Everyone's got development and backstory and all this stuff. No one in Final Fantasy 15 does. I remember being Final Fantasy 15, actually, and still not understanding why Arden wanted to do what he did and why he was even the villain in the first place. I didn't even know why. Apparently it's a really good plot, and it's like interesting and all this stuff, but I still didn't really understand it. And I've played a lot of RPGs, a lot of JRPGs, so you know, I'm used to having weird storylines and weird shit, and even that game, I was just like, Why is he doing this? Okay, right. Okay, I don't know. Even Final Fantasy 13 was slightly easier to understand. In that game, you have to go on a fucking lore read on the main menu because, like, that game doesn't explain shit. But you kind of get the idea of it, you know, you're just trying to kill some foul sea thing. This, it's like, you're trying to get to Luna Freya, but then stuff keeps happening, and then Arden's always there for some reason. And just, I don't know, when I remembered it, I'm like, oh man, do I really want to spend, like, 4 days non-stop playing this game and just, you know, apparently they made it better and added cutscenes, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in it, I'll be honest. I remember really liking the DLC. Episode Ignis was actually really good. Didn't play the Gladius one. Actually, the Prompted one wasn't very good either. Apparently the Arden one's good. But I don't know, man. I mean, maybe if I give it another go, you know, at some point when I haven't got as much going on, or like, you know, games I want to play. You know, I'm playing Crisis Core, for example, right now on Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, and I'm loving this game because I love the story and the characters so far. It's got a clear plot. It's literally, I find with Final Fantasy 15, the beginning, it's just like, hey, fuck off somewhere and then fuck about. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. I'm finding it a bit I have no desire to replay it. Even 13, at least it's a linear story and I can get on board with it. You know? The plot's always moving forward and the characters interacting. This is just like, I don't know. Oh, go do a side mission for me. And also, like, the combat, I'm not a big fan of the combat in Final Fantasy 15, if I'm honest. I didn't really like it. I remember not liking it so much, I put the difficulty down to the easiest because I just found the blocking, like, pointless. Because you can't do a combo, you can't attack and then just block when someone's about to hit you. You have to kind of know it's gonna do it like 2 seconds before and then hold block. Do you know what I mean? It's not very fluid or anything. It's not like it's not like the remake, you know, you're like slash roll, but even that, you know, you can just heal and whatever. I don't know. The combat didn't do it for me anyway, so I don't know. I find Final Fantasy 15, I guess it's a big disappointment because I have no desire to play it again, which is really weird for me because I love Final Fantasy games. I always make it a point to at least play one of them a year. I used to play like 7, 8, 9, and 10 every year at least once. That's how much I loved them, but I don't find myself doing as much because I haven't got time. But this one I went back and played, that's why I started 7 instead. And 7, I played for 20 minutes. Even with it feeling more empty compared to the remake, I still wanted to beat it and was obsessed with it and still, you know, ended up beating the whole thing. And now I played all the spin-offs and watched the movies and whatever. So, don't know, man. That's where Final Fantasy 15 went wrong. It's the storytelling, the fundamental storytelling. You shouldn't have split your story up like that because then it's just not as much replay value at all. No, Final Fantasy 7 would not have been the hit it was if you had to watch a fucking movie to understand half the plot and, you know, play the fishing game. All this shit, I don't know. I just find it kind of a bit disappointing. But maybe I need to give it another go. You know, gotta bear in mind, I only played the first hour and I was like, ugh. But I do remember the game. There's just 9 little nitpicks. It's like a late review of the game, I guess. Anyway, leave a comment down below what you think of Final Fantasy 15. Actually, one last thing before I go. I remember Angus, one of my best friends, and he never played Final Fantasy before, and he played Final Fantasy 15, and he played it, and he was like, man, that game's amazing. I fucking loved it. It was great. And I'm like, it's good, but I mean, fucking hell, the story's a goddamn mess for a Final Fantasy game. And he was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Basically, like, you know, having a go at me, like saying, oh no, the story's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you haven't played, an OG Final Fantasy game. Or even like, you know, 6, 7, 8, all the stories in that are so fucking well written and amazing. Or 8, I guess everyone cries about, but I still really like it. And especially 10, 10's my favorite. And I just figured like, yeah, okay, if it's your first game ever, Final Fantasy, it might seem like it's pretty good because there's not many games that have that level of storytelling like Final Fantasy games do, but compared to me, oh yeah, sorry, my point was, now he's played Final Fantasy VII Remake, he's like, this game is fucking amazing, oh my god, I love the character, I'm like, see? You see? See how much better it is? Like, it's such a good game, isn't it? Because the characters and the story is already written and it's there, but I don't know, it just goes to show. Anyway, I'm rambling again, so yeah, have a nice evening, morning, whatever, and leave a comment down below what you think of the game, and I'll see you in the next video, so have a nice day.